Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In this video we're revealing the final round 1 team for NRL Dream Team in the 2025 Supercoach season. So a few changes based off team list today. I guess no change in hooker though. Mamazelis and Pakes. Talked about these in the other videos, but on the off chance someone's watching this as a dedicated Dream Team player, well done to you firstly. But yeah, they both got the starting role in the hooker position, so should get 50 to 60 minutes you'd expect, and at their prices that means there is a bit of value. So we'll hopefully make a bit of cash out of them and then look to flip a bit later in the year. The front row, so we already locked in Barnett and Horsburgh. Both went pretty well on the weekend. As you can see there, 47, 49. Premiums in this game average about 60, so I will absolutely take that. I got Terrell May on the bench just because the front row is already locked out, but he'll definitely have a bit of value in him this year, we believe. And then Ben Takura brought in. Basically, got to the stage where I needed a cheap forward. I do have one in my team, but the other ones that were available I just wasn't a fan of. So I've decided I could probably sacrifice in the front row. I think Takura, when he gets a run, will score well with PPM. It's just when he gets a chance. It might not be till Origin, so that's fine. Obviously, if another cheapie does come up in the medium term, it may be a sideways play to them, but I think that'll be okay. The second row, so we had Isaiah Yeo, which was fantastic, 76, which is really good for Dream Team, so very happy with that. We've got Kobe Hetherington and Tuolangi playing this week. Hetherington playing in the middle there at the Broncos. Real workhorse type player, so keen to have him. Tuolangi should get 80 minutes there on the edge of the Eels, which hopefully will translate to some good scoring. Nafahu White on the bench offers a bit of flexibility, but also looks like there's a really solid role for him in the middle there at the Roosters, so we'll back him to make a bit of money. Fini Fuiaki, we're really keen on, like the look of him, so we'll get him in. Obviously, Tommy Gilbert would be nice too there from the Dolphins, but couldn't quite swing the budget for him. So this is how it goes. And Hubner, he's the cheap second rower we've brought in. Probably prefer him to the likes of Gajeski, or I guess the other cheap options we had in mind all kind of missed out. So I think he's the one to go with. Obviously, if something else happens, we can always shift. The halves are locked in, so Cleary already played 55, Kynes 35, is a bit underwhelming, but I guess we can obviously, if we find another option we need to move to, we can move, but we won't panic. Luke Metcalf, we won't panic on either. It's just a bad game for the Warriors. He'll bounce back. Tom Duffy, bottom dollar, kicking goals, halfback, all the good stuff we love to see from halves in any fantasy format, but Dream Team in this case. In the centres, so I found a bit of money to splash out and get Ruben Garrick, so I've faded him in the other formats. So that's the great thing about Dream Team as well, is you can do some different stuff. Like, obviously, I'm not running a front row nuff like Takura in the other leagues, but hey, it's Dream Team, does it really matter? There's nowhere near as much cash on the line, so Ruben Garrick, welcome to the team. Jarrell Skelton, I guess with Dream Team, some of the positioning is a bit weird, and he's been named as a specialist centre despite being a career winger. So we'll lock him in the centres. We've got Purdue and Toya as a bit of cover there as well. And then our wing fullbacks, so the big three, Tommy Turbo, Kalen Ponga, Isaiah Yongi. They sort of crop up everywhere else, so why not in this format? I've got Jaden Campbell waiting in the wings. Obviously as a half, being able to play him at wing fullback is very nice as well. And then I've gone with Shibasaki. So Stafford Tower missing out meant I did have to do a bit of a reshuffle. So Shibasaki is nice and cheap in this format. The dual position works well with Garrick as well. It's probably another reason why I went for Garrick is he does have dual position status. So there is a bit of flexibility with my centres in particular. It's probably where that's going to be important. And then my flex, I've gone with Sandon Smith. Obviously cheap, but I've already filled my hooker and halves positions. It does give me a bit of flexibility if I do want to fade Hines, and maybe as a way of getting out of Takura sooner rather than later. Potentially could. He could become my Tommy Gilbert in a couple of weeks. So, like Supercoach, you do get a couple of looks before prices change. So, I can use that flexibility as well as the potential for cash. You can see Sandon Smith's projected to score 14, only has a break even of 18. I think he'll outscore that projection though, so that's not an issue as far as I'm concerned. So that's the team. Like I said, there's a couple of experimental pieces like Hines, for example. Don't have him in any other formats. Ruben Garrick is another one. So Isaiah, I do have him in fantasy, but good to get a piece of him scoring well early. And so we'll wrap the video up there. As always, if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the Dream Team content. As I said, it's a bit more specialist, but it's a good time. Subscribe to the channel. We've got lots of new people on board, so welcome and thank you. But join in with those legends. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.